to today's conversation. The way to Biafra. We are looking at IPOB autopilot, IPOB DOS. Simon Ekpa has said that there's no going back on declaring Biafra on the 2nd of December 2024. Let's get a reaction.
Declaring Biafra in Finland or declaring Biafra under the observation of the United Nations or under the observation of the international community or under the observation of all Nigerians or under the observation of AU. And this is not the first time we are hearing that. During Wazirike era, we have been hearing that Biafra has been declared somewhere in Aba. It is only IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, that knows what he's doing. And for me, that's the only man that understands the Biafran factor. You know, we have seen, what about the referendum? Has he concluded the referendum? What about the issue of Finland, what he said in Finland? Of course, he claimed, because I don't know how somebody will sit down and claim he's the Prime Minister of Biafra in exile. You know, that thing does not connect well. But generally, I see it as, you know, his own way of a kind of agitation, just to keep his own ideology alive. No, because
his own ideology
alive, you know,
the interest of
what do you mean by interest? Or whose interest is he protecting? Did you gather that was there a voting? Was there a consensus by people, by Igbos, the Biafrans all over the world to make him Biafran Prime Minister in exile? That is number one. Number two, the fact still remains that at this point in time, you know, that is why some of us, when we look at Simon Ekpa, we want to give him some certain level of expo, you know, because we understand the angle he's coming from. We want to do it his own way, and I'm not against that. You know, there should be several means of getting people consciousness towards the coming of Biafra, towards the sovereignty of Biafra. That is understood, you know. And if you're saying that, you know, and we have already an issue that he has also been declared wanted, and of course, I am against that decision by the federal government to declare Simon Ekpa wanted. I am against it automatically, because everybody has right to agitation. You know, everybody has right to ask for freedom. Everybody has right, you know, to champion his own destiny by himself. Nigeria has ceased to exist in 2014. So to an extent, you know, what Simon Ekpa is doing, you know, to an extent, for him, I think it shows his consciousness and his ideology. You know, he might have a lot of supporters or input. Of course, I'm not saying no. Is it in line, his synergy? You know, is he trying to bring sanity with what he's doing to the Biafran quest globally, or who's aligning with him? Who has come out to say, okay, we are this, we are that? We have not seen that happen. No, because of maybe he was once one of the organizers or conveners or representative of Biafran structure in Finland. He now uses that opportunity, you know, to do some certain things which he feels that suits his style of agitation. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. Understand the direction I'm going. See, Biafran quest is not about you and me. This is a national thing. This has to do with more than talking about over 200 ethnic groups in Biafra. It's not an Igbo thing, and nobody should see it as an Igbo thing, you know. And that is what it's called, indigenous people of Biafra. You know, Biafra does not represent anything less than that. So what Simon Ekpa is talking about, we have seen a couple of his policies, you know, run towards hit the brick wall, you know, without any direction. You understand? And that is what autopilot is all about, because there's no command and control. That is, by the way, let me just add one or two things to what Simon Ekpa is doing. If you said you said you did a referendum, you know, this and that, who is supervising it? Nobody could answer that question. There was a time he became a problem. His authorities, you understand, people were no longer comfortable with his orders or about the issue of sit at home. Until that issue beat down, it was telling Igbos to sit at home 3 weeks, 2 weeks. You know, people are beginning to look at. See, it's not everybody that will understand the level of fight for freedom and how people were able to use different angles to push towards that. The fact still remain that Simon Ekpa today, one, is a Biafran. We are not going to take that away from him. Maybe for his passion for Biafran ideology, that we are not going to take it away from it. But is it in line, with other support groups? Do they recognize him? Or is just that people who are too cautious about the coming of Biafra, who are also fall to what he's trying to do? But we are not seeing people of the professionals, the intellectuals, the groups, that build that synergy, that build that sanity, that build that bridge, that build that connection, towards actualization, coming to identify with his own ideology. Then how are we going to rectify that? How are we going to bring to terms? How are we going to put this thing on the table and say, okay, this is this. Currently now, for me, the way he's going about it, I am not too comfortable with it. Because
you're not too comfortable with him. But
yes, I'm saying it. I'm coming to say it without any reservation, and that's the truth. I'm not a daft like that. I also believed in Biafra 100%, even more than even when he was on the running for Nigeria, partaking in Nigerian activities. I am already a Biafran. I started researching on Biafra from childhood, when he was busy romancing Nigeria, running up and down, representing Nigeria globally. I started researching on Biafra. So as a child, that's from my primary school days. So it's not something that starts now. And when I see things, yes, when Wazirike came up, I supported, but I worked very well the direction Wazirike was going, until we begin to have United Nations criteria for fighting for freedom, and that is what Nnamdi Kanu embraced. And before you know it, the thing moved and become a universal, one of the largest freedom movements in the world. I'm not taking an exception from that, but what I'm saying is that that is Simon Ekpa's ideology and a style of fighting, agitating.
Okay.
Then what I'm telling you now is that, see, everything, let him test run it and let us see. How about the referendum? We could not hear anything. No paper is carried. But even now, we cannot make a statement today. It becomes a global thing. See, because it's not I'm not against that. If you look at how countries were able to get their own freedom, there are various groups pushing towards one thing. And the way you channel
he's fighting for the interest of Biafra.
Yes, that's what I'm saying now. But when you start issuing those ultimatums, that is where I'm not comfortable with. Referendum, who are you going? Who are supervising it? Biafra is going to come on the 28th. But how does it come? The Prime Minister of Biafra in exile. How do we ratify that? I am against it completely. It can't be Finland and be reading out things that even a Biafran, who is a farmer in the village, does not understand. Why are we not seeing the likes of IPOB identifying with him?
IPOB?
Yes.
DOS or autopilot?
What do you mean by DOS? That one is not, I'm talking about the umbrella body we know. We are talking about
under their watch. Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped in Kenya. IPOB under their watch. That's why you saw Simon Ekpa rising to fame.
So what happened? What has he achieved?
Many people seem to want to believe Simon Ekpa other than the DOS.
Yes, because then what has that achieved? That is ignorance, complete ignorance. You cannot, nobody on this earth, including Nnamdi Kanu, is more Biafran than my family. I can tell you that. My grandfather has 9 soldiers. All of them died in Biafra war except my father. My father was the only son. Now, why my father even survived was my father used to use speedboat to carry crayfish from Ugutale to Bonny. How many of them knows anything about Biafra? So I grew up in a Biafra family. families that lost nine people, graduates, grade twos, as in those days. I don't want to mention names. We are still crying over the death of those people because they would have added value to our family. We lost it to war. What is he talking about? That Igbos are being killed on a daily basis because of stupid activities. Does he have what it takes to control the air and the sea? Why are you continuing to put life of Biafrans in danger and you say you are doing this? No, Nnamdi Kanu never did that. Nnamdi Kanu always go on solidarity, persuasion, trying to bring the international community to see the reason why there should be sovereignty of the black man in Africa. That's what Nnamdi Kanu is talking about. Nnamdi Kanu does not issue unnecessary order without adequate consultation on his endorsement. When Nnamdi Kanu first issued sit at home, even the governors obeyed. Unless we are in line of it. I don't know supporting him. Nnamdi Kanu is not a terror of today. Nnamdi Kanu has been addressing World Igbo Congress for the past 20 years. But the past 20 years, there's no Igbo leader. That's from Nyewode, Rafu Uche, name them. In those days, we were honest leaders. That does not know like Nnamdi Kanu. Is it not Jesus Okano that does not know Nnamdi Kanu? Is it not Okorocha that does not know Nnamdi Kanu in those days? Even when we has not come out to become a public, a global figure, Nnamdi Kanu has the love and the issue of Igbos and of course the Biafrans at heart. But you see, this thing that you are not working, okay, do it your own way. I'm not against it, but don't put unnecessary hope and order because you want recognition or you want a certain direction or whatever you are having in mind in terms of your ideological operations. That's just the fact. But that is not to mean that I am against the federal government issuing ultimatum to calling for his arrest, and the federal government, who might be very illiterate, did not know that they don't have a rendition treaty with Finland. So how they are going to go about arresting Simon Ekpa in Finland remains a mystery. And Simon Ekpa has, to an extent, built a certain level of relationship with the Finnish government. That is just it. So he's playing his game and is in charge of anything that has to do with Biafra in Finland.
Does Simon Ekpa have anything to do with insecurity in the southeast?
Bros, let me tell you the gospel truth. Nnamdi is the only reason why there is insecurity in the southeast, not Simon Ekpa. Federal government are chasing shadows. I'm not even talking about southeast alone. I'm talking about the economic sabotage that's going on in the entire Biafra land. How Asarido Kuba and Otombola has gone forward to sabotage the interests of Biafrans by aligning with rogue administration of Nigeria to amass the commonwealth of Biafrans. That does it. And the reason why Nnamdi Kanu has not been freed till today, Nnamdi Kanu has become the factor till tomorrow. Nnamdi Kanu is more popular than any politician in Nigeria, especially in Igbo land. But it's been kept in custody because that the Yorubas and the Northerners entered an agreement prior to 2023, where it was being agreed that Igbo should be released. Igbo that committed the same offense with Nnamdi Kanu. He was released. Was he not released? Then let him go. Then what is stopping Nnamdi Kanu from being released? I'm asking you, is it not the same offense? That tells you that the picture is beginning to unveil itself. That the Islamic Northerners and the Muslims West are behind what is happening in Nnamdi Kanu. But unfortunately, the Biafran governors or the Eastern governors and Nnamdi are not seeing it from that direction. That Nnamdi Kanu is deliberately beheaded because of the common conquest. And that POB is prepared for them. Please, don't rule it out completely. IPOB, I have seen indigenous chief. It will take over 230 something years for you to break the ranks of IPOB. He saw all those sell and carry. Saboteurs of 1976. The Biafrans, the Igbo nation has come of age. And the thing is spreading. There's an underground move. Nnamdi Kanu is really feared. He said it openly. Just his presence brings sanity, peace. Who others would do that? Do you know why? People believe in him. The governors also believed in him. The Ohanese believed in him. Even Nigerians believe in Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, because every Nigerian is becoming a Biafra in one way or the other.
An agitator.
An agitator. The same thing federal government is doing to Nigerians. The same thing Nigerians are doing to the federal government. So you see that the system, the country itself is not balanced. You can see there is a fundamental issue that has not been addressed. And the people who are bent on destroying Nigeria are the Yorubas and the Northerners. Bro, this is not
They're the ones preaching one Nigeria.
No, bro, is there anything like one Nigeria? Since 19, this is 104 years till now. Look at this present administration now. Okay, the Igbo man caused Tinubu's failure. No, go out and say it now. That Igbo man caused Tinubu to fail. Igbo man caused Buhari to fail. Igbo man caused Jonathan to fail. Igbo man, everything about them is failure. They have not been in a position of governance, presidency in this country for the past 104 years. And he says he will now have thousands of Nnamdi Kanu. They are there, including Nigerians. Nigerians are turning to Nnamdi Kanu on a daily basis. So the federal government has a lot to deal with at this point in time, because a time will come, it will blow, and everybody will become funny against each other. Okay, there will be complete, total chaos and disorder, and people like Nnamdi Kanu will be seen as the prophets and leaders. That to an extent, Nigeria will be eradicated from the map of the world, and a new nation will be born that will have the likes of everybody, that will become the pride of the black man.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chinese. God bless you.